Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dropkick, the Commute, the only wrestling podcast on the internet. I have come out of my 4-day time capsule that felt like 2 years, and I unfortunately somehow missed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrestling shows in the span of 4 days.
Seven, actually.
7?
Yeah, because you didn't watch Dynamite. So NXT.
Oh, true.
Oh, well, did you watch NXT on Tuesday?
I don't think so.
Okay, so NXT, Dynamite, Impact, Against All Odds, SmackDown, Clash, and Collision.
And Rampage.
That doesn't count. I did watch it. I literally did watch Rampage because I was like, oh, maybe I'll take notes. Literally nothing happened.
Yeah, no, it's always like, oh man, Rampage will be good.
Yeah.
Though it was a nice, well-needed break from the action.
You feel good? You feel good about it?
I feel a little refreshed. I'm still gonna watch what I can from last week and get caught up, but you gotta just shake the cobwebs off. We're back. I watched Clash today, and we're gonna talk about it today.
Hell yeah, brother. We are going to... This is our Clash at the Castle reaction episode. We'll cover all the weekly shows tomorrow. Maybe not all of them, because honestly, a lot of what happened on SmackDown, it led into Clash. So Clash was a very good show. I would say it was up there. It certainly has not been the best one this year, but it was solid. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was good. It was... very well rounded. The highs were high, the lows were low, and a lot of things happened that we predicted.
Yeah.
So it was a predictable show, I think is a good way to put it, but not in a bad way. It was like, this is kind of like what, the results were what we wanted, more or less, maybe not the ways that the results happened.
The one that I was surprised about was the tag match. I wasn't expecting Alba and Alba and Isla. I wasn't expecting them to win, but I'm glad they did. They got a very good reaction. I don't think they made Jade and Bianca look weak. I mean, they both still had some crazy spots.
Right, because they pinned Shayna too, right?
Yeah, they pinned Shayna, so it helped that it was a triple threat. Jade and Bianca did not get pinned. I also like the way they set up this triple threat too. Usually when they have triple threats or fatal four-way like tag matches, they have those wacky rules where there's still only 2 people in the ring, which never really made sense to me.
And other teams can tag someone who's not their teammate.
Yeah, or you can still other people can tag people that aren't their teammate, and it's really weird. Like a couple years ago, that whole bit with Kofi and Xavier where they pinned each other at the start of it. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was good.
That was good, but I don't like that wacky rule. I feel like it's very strange, but this was set up like a traditional triple threat.
Yeah, I feel like that's how multi-tag matches should be.
I agree.
I never really understood it either. I think the way this was set up was good though, and every team looked good all around. Like you said, Jade and Bianca looked strong still. I was very shocked they didn't win. I'm glad Isla Dawn and Alba Fire got the win in their home country. I didn't even think of that going into the match either. I was like, oh yeah, they're
Scottish.
They're from Scotland, Scottish bodies.
Obviously a big point of the match, everyone is talking, all the fucking clowns on Twitter are talking about Jade's botch where she went to springboard off the rope. But
bro, who cares, man?
Who gives a fuck? She literally lifted 2 people over her head still. You're gonna focus on that, but not focus on
also,
all the good shit we got.
She recovered fine.
Yeah, it was a very quick recovery.
But that's all I saw on Twitter from that night, and it's it was wild too because I saw something else. It's y'all are focusing on Jade when literally all this other shit happened. It was a compilation of all the botches from the night. It's just why are we holding Jade Cargill to such a high standard? Like, yes, she's still very green in the business, and that's fine. Like, it's not like a night and day thing. Some people come in and they need a lot of work, and some people are just like better at it. Like, coming right from the get go. So like
the only other weird thing that she did that I thought like was certainly a big point, because even the commentators pointed out, was Shayna had her in a headlock there and was like choking her out, and Jade was like, yo, like loosen up a little bit, but she tapped her hand.
It had to be she was like you know, chill out.
Yeah, so she like tapped her hand, but they played it off well, I thought, where the Jessica Carr was like on the other side of her, so she didn't see it technically.
Yeah.
And then she went to the other side and they loosened up and adjusted. But I thought the commentators pointed it out a little bit, but then they pointed out that fact that it's like, oh, she didn't see it, referees call is final. So I thought they played that off well as well. Overall though, like the match was good, man, and Jade's gear was so sick, dude. She came out and I was like, holy shit.
The
like
face paint was very cool.
Yeah, it was badass.
I liked how everything ended. Jade and Bianca do their little wheelbarrow like suplex finisher kind of thing that they've been doing, and then Jade goes for the pin, and Isla Dawn breaks her out of the pin, gives her a suplex, kind of just like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? All of a sudden she takes the pin and gets the dub. I will say though, I wish Isla Dawn and Alba Fire were built up a little more before giving them these tag titles, because I feel like they just kind of showed up and more or less just kind of were inserted into this match. And like, again, I'm here for it. It was a great moment. They got the flowers and shit like that, and they had their moment in Scotland. But I wonder, I feel like it would have felt a little more special having them be featured more, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem too, though, with these short builds. Like I said, last time we did this was the pay-per-views have been so quick, they've barely had any time to build,
Yeah, so at least now they're gonna be getting that time on TV, and I hope they make the most of it. And, they're both great wrestlers. Alba Fire used to be an NXT UK World Champion. Like, she fucking was huge over there. Overall, good W. I think the only title that changed hands.
Yeah, all the others stayed the same. Yep. So going back a little bit, the first match of the night was the I Quit match between Cody and AJ, and I thought it was very solid. Some people are criticizing the ending. I thought it was fine. They're like, oh, it makes AJ look weak, but like, no, look at the rest of the fucking match, bro. Like, what do you mean? He quit. He quit with the stairs being held above him after he got handcuffed, hit with a chair, hit with a kendo stick while being handcuffed.
I would say, so like, he's handcuffed. I would say if he wasn't handcuffed, then you could move out of the way and I don't know. I would argue maybe he could kick him in the nuts like that, but he was too far away. So and the steel steps are kind of like a story point if you want to think about like how the last few weeks. Very solid match. Cody bleeding in the match was kind of wild. I feel like since this new Triple H era has started, he's really the only one that's like bladed. Because I don't think that was accidental. That looked very...
I mean, it happened off camera, so they were like, oh my god, he got hit into the ring bell, but like, no, he didn't. He bladed, for sure.
So far, Cody's been the only one to do that, which I love that he's like willing to do that and, go the extra mile for the blood. And it was really solid. The AJ Styles when he got knocked down from doing the phenomenal forearm.
Oh my god, dude, it was so funny. So yeah, he had like a steel chain that he got from one of the bags, along with the handcuffs. So he got the chain and he wraps it around his arm and he goes to do the phenomenal forearm, and Cody just chucks a chair at him, and he like, it's like a bit from the Looney Tunes, and he just fucking falls off and just boink 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 into the table. It was so good.
Yeah, it was good. Thought it was gonna be tax.
Yeah, I think everyone thought so.
I don't think WWE is gonna go that far again.
No tax.
But I don't know. You never say never at this point. Some crazy shit's been happening over there. But yeah, a lot of great moments. Cody looked strong. We had obviously AJ Styles losing, but at the end, Cody's celebrating on the ramp, and all of a sudden Solo comes out clapping behind him. It's like, good job, Cody.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
He slowly just appeared behind him.
Yeah, and they had a little stare down, and then the Tongans came out, beat his ass, and then RKO.
Can you please refer to them as their correct names?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I don't know Tama Tonga's.
The right-hand man.
Oh yeah, the right-hand man, Tama Tonga, and the infamous Tonga Loa. Yeah, they beat his ass. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens came out to save the day.
Yeah.
And then I missed this, but you said Orton and Cody had a little thing with the title.
Yeah, so Cody's standing there, and he's like, yo, thanks, guys. Thanks so much. And Randy just, his eyes are just, peeking at the title. They're just, peeking down, and he's, staring at it. He's like, I'm gonna want that, I think. So, it was good. One more bit. When Cody was holding up the stairs, about to hit AJ, he's holding him up. AJ goes, I quit. And bell rings, and he puts him down, and he's like, okay. And then he looks at his mom, and he goes, should I? And she's like, yeah, woo! And so he hits him anyways.
Yup. Oh, we also got some smacks from Mama Rhodes.
Yeah, dude. She's a badass.
Yeah, dude. She takes some inspiration from literally everyone else in her family.
Yeah. She hit him, 3-4 times?
Which is also just generally very heel behavior after an I Quit match. They're about to do the big thing. It's like, no, don't do it, I quit. And then the heel win, and then do it anyways.
Yeah.
When at the last I Quit match with Edge and Finn Balor, I think, he concertoed Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
And, kind of forced his hand. But it was a solid I Quit match, and Cody's first I Quit match. Apparently, AJ's fourth, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very good, and kind of like we were predicting, it looks like Randy Orton and Cody might be the next big match, maybe for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But again, now it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
July 6th.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
so fast.
Which is also crazy because they got to do all the qualifying matches for the ladder match.
Yeah. Real quick, one more thing about AJ. Did you see that WWE announced another collab? AJ Styles is going to be in a singles match.
In or Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yes, in Pro Wrestling Noah, which is super cool. And apparently,
I love that, man.
Yeah, and I read that WWE got to choose his opponent, so they picked. I truly don't know how to pronounce his name. Marufuji, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know who that is, but I'm sure they picked him for a good reason, and it's really exciting that they're doing they're branching out past TNA, they're going to Japan now, and they're doing a lot of really good stuff. So
Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan, and honestly, WWE's at a point that I never thought they would get back to.
Yeah.
Or surpass, even. I would go as far to say. They are more on top than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Even if some of the stories might not necessarily be the most compelling.
Yeah. But the stories that are compelling, they're paying off, and it's really entertaining to watch like every week, and it's really good.
I was worried about Cody's title reign for a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what?
Oh, I was too.
I still am a little worried, like, in a way, because I love this AJ feud.
Yeah.
But, I think, again, it's just with these slow builds, we need something with a longer build, which is why, I think if The Rock comes back and we have that SummerSlam match...
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the last one-off before because, obviously they played into it a little bit with Solo coming out at the end of this match, and I think this feud, maybe with Randy, will be the last little one-off they do, but even that has a story, Cody and Randy, there's a little bit of story there. Of course, it happened forever ago, so not everyone's gonna remember it, but
right.
I think it will. I think
it's
this
still
feud
a
will
dream
pay
match
off
for some people, though.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, they gotta. It is off to a weak start, but it's not terrible. It doesn't feel like terrible booking with Swerve. It's
right.
It's a decent world title reign.
There's a little bit of merit
Yeah.
behind it, and Cody earned it too. I don't want to say he didn't.
Yeah, and he's got so many years left in his fucking career.
Oh my god, yeah, he's young for wrestling age.
Yeah, so if this run isn't that great overall, then okay, give him another one later. I'm sure he'll get another one. He'll be a multi-time champ. I'll be very surprised if he only has the championship once.
Yeah. No, he's gonna. I gotta drop this thing off.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, so for our next match, we had the Intercontinental.
The Intercontinental Championship.
That's how we're gonna say it from now on.
In Glasgow.
Scotland.
Scotland.
So
the Intercontinental in Scotland.
Obviously, to no surprise, Sami Zayn retains. I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it, and I think it's fine. Sami retains. But we had more Alpha Academy drama here, so they were kind of back and forth the whole match. Maxine and Otis came out with Gable, and he was telling them left and right, oh, do this, interfere here, do this stuff. And they succeeded a few times. No, they succeeded a few times. So Maxine was on the apron, and then
right.
He managed to get a suplex to Sami, almost pinned him and all that. But the big drama came when they're both outside of the ring, and obviously Maxine is still kind of hurt, so she's got an ankle brace on, and Chad fell and hit Maxine's leg, so she's writhing in pain, ah.
Yeah,
and
I think he got thrown into.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because Sami and Chad were fighting at the barricade, and Sami throws him, and Chad falls into Maxine's leg, and she's writhing in pain. She's oh shit, and then Otis goes to hit Sami, but Maxine's no, stop, don't. So she's don't hit him. And Otis is all pissed. He goes face to face with Chad, about to fucking beat his ass, take him down, and then he turns away, picks up Maxine, and walks out of the arena. And Chad's no, come back. And then Sami, does a luva kick to him. Chad topples over, And that is the match. And Chad looked like he was gonna fucking...
It's so over. Someone said Monday Night Raw. I'd hate to be anyone who's not Drew McIntyre or Chad Gable on Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yeah. They are going to tear the place down, dude.
It's so over. Also, Otis, he had his moments where like, oh, I don't know about this, and I don't know if he's gonna actually turn on Gable. But nobody, and I mean nobody, puts their hands on Maxine.
Yeah.
That is where he crosses the line, or where
accident
he draws the line.
Or not, he
doesn't matter. Otis loves his blonde women.
It's true.
He throwback to Mandy Rose.
Yep.
Otis. But also, this is they've been a unit, all of them, for 2 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. Maybe Maxine for 1, but still. I remember when Alpha Academy started too. I was like, I don't give a shit about this.
Shoosh.
They made me give a shit.
They did. Took a while, but it paid off.
It took a while, but it paid off, and now we see where it goes. Also, I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but I'm pretty sure Chad Gable's contract was up last week, so I don't know if he re-signed or if he's just competing. He
re-signed, so he was on an interview at Clash actually beforehand with another place, and he's like, so I did re-sign, and the reason is Triple H pretty much delivered on all of his promises that he promised me, so yeah, I re-signed. There's no reason for me not to, so.
Yeah, and we can imagine that involves, not headlighting necessarily, but getting a bigger spot.
Yeah.
What he usually gets. So.
And I mean, he probably also wanted to be in a more serious role, because that's where this is leading to, right? Not even necessarily just a heel role. Who knows if he pitched a heel role, but he is in a serious role now where because the Alpha Academy, like you just said, you didn't give a shit about it before. He probably felt the same way for a while, I imagine.
Yeah.
And now that he's in a bigger spot, he's probably, why wouldn't he resign? It's leading up to big stuff, so.
Yeah.
And he literally got handed the "you suck" chance. The "you suck" Kurt Angle chance.
Yeah.
He's moving up.
Which I feel have been dying down a little recently.
I wouldn't say so. On Raw last week, he got him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, probably that. You don't care about wrestling.
Yeah, I
just
hate
say
wrestling.
It.
Yeah, that's why I left.
Yeah. Gone for a week and you're a different man.
You want to hear something I wish I cared about more, though?
Yeah, tell me.
The Piper and Bayley match. I love them both so much.
It's such a tragedy, man.
Bayley's title run has just been nothing short of underwhelming.
And it sucks because I don't think it's her fault.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I just and I honestly, in situations like these, I don't know what it is. I guess we blame the booking a lot. I guess when you think about it, she could be getting booked a whole lot better. WrestleMania, that feud was great because it was her friend.
Yeah.
And she won the Rumble, and this is her first time in this version of Bayley being a babyface.
Yeah.
Post hugger era Bayley.
Yeah, and it worked so well, and that feud meant a lot, and then she won the title, and then it was okay, what do we do with her now? And they haven't put her in many defenses. She's had this was her second or third?
Yeah, she missed Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Well, she was on SmackDown in Saudi, but I can't remember if that was a title defense or not.
Still.
Yeah.
And then on the opposite end of the coin, it's I feel bad for Piper because like, again, she was in her home country, but I feel like she didn't get nearly as much love as, like, Drew or Isla Dawn and Alba Fire did.
Right.
And honestly, I think that's in part due to, like, kind of almost... Chelsea Green's almost kind of like her mouthpiece.
Yeah, Chelsea Green, like, is almost like the bigger name in that duo, so it's like...
She's the bigger name in that duo, but she doesn't feel at the same level of title contention as, like, Piper does.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to feel about it. I think Piper with a mouthpiece is okay. I feel like there's, like, a bit of, like, I don't know. Like, I think she needs a lot of work on that end, but I also think there's, like, a bit, I don't want to say a language barrier, because it's not a language barrier, but, like, an accent barrier.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's nobody's fault.
Right.
But I think, like, there's just, like, certain things that need to be worked on, too, to, like, make her sound more believable when she talks. Chelsea's good at being, like, annoying, you know?
Yeah.
And Piper's the more serious one. It's just, I'm not there yet. Like, I loved seeing her in this match, but then I was kind of shocked when, like, she came out and it was just kind of, like, not anything special.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, neither of them got a reaction. The crowd was so silent when Bayley came out, on her birthday, no less.
I will still say this. The timing of when she comes out to her music, she should wait.
Yeah, she should
wait. She comes out, like, as the beat is changing. And, like, I ranted about this last week. Like, it just... They should axe that song entirely, in my opinion. But, like, if they're gonna keep it, you know, wait. Don't come, like, as the music's dying down and coming up into this, like, new song or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But...
It's it just sucks because like they're both great, but I don't know, this match, it just didn't work for me, at least. Like,
no, it was my low of the night.
Yeah,
like, easily.
And I mean, you can even tell from my notes, I have nothing.
Yeah,
the only note I have is about Chelsea Green, and
yeah, Chelsea Green wearing the lucha mask.
Chelsea Green. So in this match, you know, she comes out with Piper. Chelsea Green gets ejected. Charles Robinson gives her the old, "You're out of here." And she's like, "No, come on." And she's like, I'm sorry. And she leaves. And then a few minutes later, she comes back in a lucha mask. And Wade Barrett goes, "Who is that?"
I know.
He's like,
Wade Barrett had some good commentary.
It was really good. He goes, "Who the hell is that?" And she comes out and she's standing on the rope, and Charles is like, "Bro, you can't be out here." And she's like, "No, I'm different. I'm not her." And so, but ultimately Bayley still got the dub and retained. I'm just hoping the
finish was cool. It was like a crucifix bomb.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool finish. I'm just hoping now they do something good with Bayley, or they can at least kind of recover from her meh run so far.
You know, what is that? You know, what does that entail?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I guess it entails Nia Jax, yeah? Well, no, because that's SummerSlam.
Yeah, unless they just don't fucking do anything with her until SummerSlam. That would be it.
But this just makes me believe more and more that Nia Jax is just kind of getting propped up to be the next champion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it sounds like Bayley's going to be a transitional champion.
Yeah, as much as that sucks.
Yeah.
Going from this match to our main event, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Drew has a massive entrance with bagpipes, Scottish marching band. It was crazy. Good entrance here. And they introduced, so they showed this on SmackDown on Friday as well, but they introduced a decibel meter on the screen.
They're really just getting more and more like football.
Yeah. So
I gotta wonder if it's an actual... Do you think it's real?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
I was like trying to I was like watching it and trying to listen.
I was like, I don't know if it's real or not.
Like the editor in me is like, yeah, is this let's fucking bust these fuckers.
Yeah. You're like,
I honestly can't tell. It's fun though. It's a fun little addition.
I feel like it gives a lot of incentive too, because Triple H has been kind of, nailing down the fact that, if the crowds are loud internationally, they're going to come back. So I feel like it adds a lot of incentive for them to grow even more globally. Not that they're small globally, but that's what they're pushing right now is like these big international PLEs and big shows. So to keep them like hyped up and keep it growing, I feel like this is a good little thing to do for the crowd.
Yeah, we didn't even mention the crowd was nutty. They were like, which is funny because the crowd wasn't like this at Clash 2 years ago.
Yeah, not at all.
They were just a normal WWE crowd. And again, a lot of things have changed, but I wonder if they've been seeing how the international crowd's been doing, and they're like, let's fucking top them.
Yeah.
Let's go all out. And they were, I still think nothing has topped France so far.
Yeah.
But I put them right below France, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I would say Puerto Rico, like
actually,
Backlash.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico was like
Puerto
very
Rico
up there.
Crazy.
But during the whole I Quit match, they were like Cody Rhodes, and like this whole thing it was really good. Loud crowd, crazy crowd. They went hard for Drew. And then Damian comes out, and they have a very strong start. But the big thing of the night that everyone was like talking about, and it looked very scary, was he goes to jump and like springboard out of the ring, or like suicide dive out of the ring, and he gets his leg caught, and he fucking hits that apron, dude. And Drew like breaks character a little bit. He's like, "Yo, like you good?"
He like got up so fast.
Yeah, he was like, "Whoa!" And then he like Damian's probably like, "Yeah, I'm good" or whatever, and starts beating the shit out of him. And then out of that, Damian, this is why it's crazy watching this sometimes, because like they're so professional and good at what they do. Like it looked so natural. Like obviously he's like, okay, I gotta help Damian out of the rope here. Like I gotta help him out. So he like gets into the ring and he's like beating him up, and then he like grabs him by the head, and like a strong, like powerful grab, and he picked him up and got him untangled, and then I believe he suplexed him back into the ring. But that's why this shit is crazy to watch sometimes, because it's like it is a performance, right? Yeah. And they need to adapt to whatever is happening, and just little stuff like this is why they're professionals, Yeah,
and anything can go wrong, dude.
Yeah.
It's like any sport,
Yeah.
And, they handled it well, and I think too it helped. I don't know if it was the same leg, but it played a little bit into the injury that Damian was like selling through the match.
Yeah, it was the same leg. Yeah, that's why he did that. And later on too, in the post show, he came out and was like, "Yo, I haven't even gone to medical yet, so I don't know the extent of this." And actually, I don't even know if it's been reported yet. I would presume he's fine. But it certainly looked rough. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll address it on Raw tonight.
I always forget that, like, Damian Priest is a really good strong style wrestler.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
He hits hard, and he is better than I think a lot of people give him credit for. Like,
yeah,
barring like all the interferences and how he's like won matches, and also barring the fact that Walter's probably going to become the champion at SummerSlam, or maybe he won't. I don't know. But
just call him Walter.
He's
your ring general, Gunther.
Oh my God! Sorry,
King General.
That's crazy. I've been good with that.
You have.
When he changed his name, I was terrible with it. But anyways, yeah, you knew what I meant though.
I did. I had to. I had to say it.
He's a good wrestler, man. Like and him and Drew matched each other so well. I feel like they were just hitting each other hard.
He's a good strong style, but he's also just fucking incredibly athletic too. I mean, like, look at his
for a big guy.
Yeah. Like, look at his U.S. title run, and then look at like all the matches he's had with Bad Bunny, and even his singles match with Bad Bunny. Like, he's fucking crazy, dude.
Very athletic.
Yeah.
and so is Drew. Like, again, they match each other so well.
We had a really cool spot where he did a Hurricane Rana off the ropes, and then Drew, like, after the Hurricane Rana, came up with a Claymore, and I just thought that was a really cool sequence.
Dude, the way he sold the Claymore and just, like, fell to his knees was insane.
Yeah.
It was nasty. And also the fact that he just comes back from the Hurricane Rana and Claymores him is funny, too.
Yeah.
But they both looked good. And also, I think we gotta really honestly give props to Eddie Orengo for just vaulting himself out of the ring for that spot and selling like the injury he took.
Yeah.
They go into the corner before that little spot, and he throws himself out of the ring to safety, and then goes back up on the apron, then gets knocked out, throws himself towards the barricade.
Dude, he threw himself.
And then I believe that's where that spot happened that we were talking about. And, he goes for the pin. Nobody's there. He's like, get a new ref out here. We get like a very wide shot of a ref running down.
Yep.
Goes in for the pin. You already knew. Like we saw this coming a mile away. 1, 2, stops pinning. Drew looks up, and it's CM motherfucking Punk to ruin the day.
And he's sitting there. He's like, it was only 2. It was only 2. And then Drew, with like pure rage behind his eyes, like goes to choke out CM Punk in the corner. Like, he's got his hands around his throat. He's like going to choke him out, and CM Punk fucking kicks him in the nuts.
Beautiful low blow.
Yeah.
And then he he wipes the dirt off his shoulders. He's out of there. He's gone.
Yeah.
And Damian Priest gets one more South of Heaven choke slam in. 1, 2, 3. Still your champ, Damian Priest, and still pissed as fuck, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Drew is going to tear the house down today. I think.
I hope we see CM Punk too. I hope we finally get some answers as to when he's coming back. And now that I'm thinking more and more about it, maybe Money in the Bank and not SummerSlam. I don't really know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like they gotta do Money in the Bank.
Maybe they do a Money in the Bank match. They have a match at Money in the Bank, and then maybe a rematch with a stipulation or something at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Obviously this ending has had a lot of controversy. This is why you should be happy that you were gone for 4 days, because I was on Twitter and I was like, people are just fucking dumb, bro. They make me so mad.
Yeah.
I understand if you're in the Scottish crowd and you see this and you're like, God damn it. Like, you have a right to be mad. Like, I understand. But
think about it though.
It was not a bad ending. People are like, oh, this is shit booking. It's not. This feud does not need the title. It's gonna It's gonna make it that much more heated when it does happen. We're gonna get that much more banger of a match. Like,
I'm excited for multiple reasons, because I'm excited that Damian Priest gets to hang on to the title a little longer. I'm excited that Punk's back. I'm excited that we've created this awesome feud with him and Drew, which would have never happened if Punk didn't get injured.
Right.
And none of this would have ever happened. We created this feud out of a terrible situation, mind you, one that has been able to happen and carry on with like half of it CM Punk's not even there.
While he's been out, the feud is carrying on.
Like,
and this is something that's
still been brewing, and like there's so much good coming out of this. Whereas, I like the course of time has dramatically changed. You know, having Punk getting injured, and I don't think it's for the worse, and we can't really speculate on what would happen. We can, but it's like, this is what's happening right now, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
And Drew doesn't need to win the title for it to mean anything. No. This still means a whole hell of a lot. The only difference is, dude, I don't know. Like, fuck off. Like, it's so okay, and it's more than okay. It's that that there's no title. It's just so good, and you know, it's predictable, but it's like the kind of predictable where we're like, fuck yeah, this is what we want and we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
And like, Drew can still win the World Heavyweight Championship probably next year.
Yeah.
And then maybe, I don't know, in some way, like, him and CM Punk get shoehorned into a world title feud, and then people can get what they want. But we don't need it right now because Damian Priest got his, and he doesn't deserve to be a transitional champion.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many, like, moving parts to this where, like, people have such a hard time seeing the bigger picture, and I get it, too. Like, he lost in Scotland for the second time. But, like, I don't know.
There was on the post show, CM Punk said something really funny because he was at the post show.
Yeah.
And we got CM Punk eating donuts on the post show again, and he was being feisty, but someone was like, you know, it sucks Drew didn't win today, but you know, I would love to see you guys like feud at like Hell in a Cell for your first match or like all this stuff. And he's like, with all due respect, I am glad that you do not own a professional wrestling company. He said that to the reporter and was like, because it does not need to be that. And he's like, I'm not doing a ladder match. I'm not doing a Hell in a Cell match. I'm just going to come back. I'm going to beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre.
He's old. Like, yeah. He's too old to be fucking...
He was getting in the Royal Rumble and got his tricep torn. Like,
and like, that's not the first time too. Like, since coming back, he's gotten injured like 4 times. And so, like, he is good enough to just have a one-on-one wrestling match.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be fucking good. Why? Like, I'll book Hell in a Cell and ladder matches all the damn day I want in 2K.
Yeah.
But when you're thinking about it in real life, like, I used to get so mad. I got so mad when they started, like, having gimmick pay-per-views instead of just, like, Hell in a Cell matches kind of, like, whenever. Because I was like, now I gotta wait all year for this. But now, like, I see it as, like... But especially just considering CM Punk, it's just, like, he doesn't need to be... Like, I know Hell in a Cell is coming up later this year, but he is the last person you need in a Hell in a Cell match. Right. They need to protect the shit out of him for his own well-being. And... Because, you know, Drew McIntyre can still go. Drew McIntyre can do Hell in a Cell matches. Drew McIntyre is, like, in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
And maybe arguably CM Punk is too, but he's also getting hurt way too much. So
yeah,
they need to take that into account. And, you know... but that's very funny that he clapped back at
yeah.
and said that.
But overall, it's just, like, it's a good feud. Just let it cook. And, like, I don't know, the discourse around this is, like, it's good. They got a reaction. They got the reaction they wanted when they booked it. They're not booking it and, like, making Drew lose and, like, oh, man, I hope they don't freak out. No, they want you to freak out. They want you to be angry so that
they want you to be invested because you know what happens when you're invested? You make more fucking money.
Yeah.
Because, as our good friend CM Punk has said on multiple occasions, this is the pro wrestling business.
Yeah.
It is a business. That's what it comes down to. Like, all personal feelings aside, I guarantee you I'm sure Drew would love to win a championship in Scotland, but I also guarantee you that Drew knows that this is a business and he knows that this is what's, like, people aren't going to look back at this and forget about Drew McIntyre. They're going to be like, oh, the feud with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre where he screwed over McIntyre in Scotland. Like, this is what they want.
And I'm sure he is very happy to be in this position. He is in one of the biggest storylines in wrestling right now. Yes, he didn't win the title.
Doesn't have a championship.
Yeah. And it's like, just let it cook. They know what they're doing. It's on fire right now. Just fucking let him be, man. But it was funny. We got kids crying and CM cunt chants, so I thought it was really good.
We got CM cunt? That's crazy.
Yeah, CM cunt on Twitter. Everyone was leaving the arena, and someone recorded it. Everyone was leaving, and we got CM cunt, CM cunt. And literally children crying, so it was good.
And it's also funny because that match was 2 heels,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which is also crazy. Which also, I mean, like, he's not a heel in Scotland, but it was just funny because, like, back here, they're both heels.
Yeah.
But in Scotland, CM Punk is a heel.
Yeah.
And Damian Priest is a heel, and Drew McIntyre isn't.
They're like all heels. All 3 of them, really.
Yeah. They're all little trolls.
Yeah. So
Honestly, I think out of everyone here, Damian Priest is more of a baby face.
he's just kind of there, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm bad because I want to be, but like, I don't care about you guys. You know,
Yeah.
like you guys do your thing."
Yeah.
So
It was a great ending though to a pay-per-view. Great match.
great ending, great pay-per-view, and yeah.
What would you rate it?
Let me do the calculations here real quick. I'm gonna rate this a 4 Meltzers out of 5.
I'll give it. Yeah, I'll give it 4.
You give it a 4?
Yeah, I'll give it 4.
Okay.
I don't want to think too hard about it because that just makes it worse.
I'm gonna give it a 4 just because the women's match sucked.
Yeah.
It didn't suck. It just didn't.
Yeah.
anything.
It didn't.
It was just there
live up.
on the card.
Yeah, everything was pretty solid though, and the vibes were great. I gotta go watch that press conference. I think that's the first press conference CM Punk has done since coming back to WWE.
But you know what? Who cares about our ratings? Because we're just 2 guys on the internet.
It's true. Welcome to the IWC.
Hey, we have a coffee, a Ko-Fi, a coffee.
It's true.
If you guys want to tip, link down below. Of course, you don't have to. Just, keep on sharing, keep on commenting, keep on liking, keep on doing what you're doing because we're growing, and we're growing strong. Like strong boys drinking your milk.
Straight to the moon, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you guys. Tomorrow we will be back to talk about the weekly shows that Galeer missed and Monday Night Raw from tonight. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah, brother. Cool.
Okay.
Beep beep. Bye. Bye bye.